today, and this is the Papablic Baby Sterilizer and Dryer. Sterilizing is a great way to protect your baby's immune system during their first year. When feeding a baby with a bottle, it can be difficult to keep bottles clean and sanitized, even if they're washed thoroughly after every use. And even clean bottles can be compromised by the spread of germs and bacteria when you use a towel on them or even by air drying. The Papablic Sterilizer kills 99.9% of germs, microbes, and bacteria. This is especially important for preemies, babies with special medical needs, and bottle sterilization is also recommended by most breast pump makers. To use the sterilizer, start by sterilizing and drying the appliance twice with an empty small basket and large basket before you start using it for toys and bottles. We recommend using distilled water in the sterilizer, but if you don't have distilled water available, I'll show you how to clean and descale at the end of this video. Make sure all the parts that need to be sterilized are disassembled and place them in the baskets with their openings pointing down. Clean the items to be sterilized thoroughly. Pour 100 milliliters of water into the heating plate. Then place the large basket on the base horizontally. Adjust it so it's in the right place, and then put the items to be sterilized into it. Place the small basket onto the large basket and put nipples and other accessories in here. Make sure the nipples and bottles are all pointing down. Then set the lid on top. Plug the appliance in and rotate the dial. To sterilize, only turn the dial to sterilizer. A sterilizing cycle takes about 6 minutes. And to sterilize and dry, turn the dial to sterilize and dry, which is the cycle we recommend for new users. Or use extra dry. This takes between 45 minutes to just over an hour, depending on the cycle you've chosen. The indicator will go off when the cycle is complete. When the sterilizing and drying process is finished, wait until the appliance has cooled down completely before removing the lid. And make sure you wash your hands thoroughly before touching any sterilized items. To clean the appliance, unplug it and let it cool down, and then wipe down the base and heating plate with a damp cloth. The large basket can be disassembled for washing, but you don't want to immerse the base in water. If you're not using distilled water, limescale can start to build up, so you'll want to descale. We recommend doing this at least once a week. Limescale is a hard, whitish, chalky deposit. Sometimes you see it on tea kettles. It's not harmful, but it can impair the operation of the appliance, so we want to get rid of it. To do that, unplug the appliance and make sure it's cool, and then just pour 80 milliliters of white vinegar and 20 milliliters of water onto the heating plate. Let it sit until the limescale has dissolved. Then pour it out and wipe down with a damp cloth. Thanks for watching.
Hey, my name is Reagan, and this is my daughter, Adelaida. She is 4.5 months, and we're going to talk about our baby Brezza one-step sterilizer dryer. So after she was born, my husband and I felt like we were spending a lot of time washing bottles, boiling the parts, drying them to get them ready for the next feeding. And because they eat so often, it was taking a bunch of time. So we ran across this baby Brezza one-step sterilizer dryer, which has been a huge lifesaver for us. As we both work, I'm a working mom, and we have found that this really saves us time so we can spend our time with our daughter, enjoying that intentional time and not washing and drying and boiling bottle parts all the time. So to use the baby Brezza one-step sterilizer dryer, it's really easy. Essentially, you just take off your two main parts, your cover and the part that holds all of the pieces, and you fill the bottom up to the line with sterilized or your purified water. So they make it really easy with kind of some notches in there to make sure that you don't go over the fill line. All you have to do is put the big piece that holds all of the bottle pieces back on, and then you take your bottle parts and you can put them all in there, which I think is really great because it's a way to make sure that everything gets clean. One feature that I really like is that these bigger orange pieces blow air up in them, so it makes sure that you're getting the inside of these bottles clean, which can be really difficult to do otherwise. So after you have put your water in, you just put all of the pieces on inside the sterilizer, kind of wherever they fit best. So I like to put the bottles on these bigger parts, so they make sure that they get sterilized on the inside. We also put the rims to the top of the bottles on here. And we make sure that we put the nipples to the bottles and the filters and these rubber pieces inside here as well. So it's super easy. You just make sure that you place them wherever there's room. And once you get all of your pieces in here, which is really simple, you put the lid back on. And you can see that I'm able to do all of this with a baby in the other hand. So it really is a very simple machine. It's easy to make it a one-handed process for when you have a kid in your arms all the time. So after you get all of the pieces on, you want to just press the power button, and we use the 45-minute option. So the button below the power button, you press once, and after you press it, you'll see it goes to 45, and then it starts automatically. Like I said, the reason that we love this machine so much is because it really does cut down the time that we were spending boiling bottle parts and just taking time to dry them, and it makes it easy for us to be able to spend time with her. We love the Baby Brezza line and couldn't recommend it more.
What's the Bololo Sterilizer and Dryer? Bololo Sterilizer and Dryer is a multifunctional steam sterilizer and heating dryer for all your baby products such as nipples, bottles, spoons, dishes, and so on. Also, it can be used for any other high temp safe product at your home. Moreover, it can dry the parts as you want. It has 600 watt power, which is more than most of the other similar products. That means it can kill 99.9% of bacteria more effectively and quickly. As an updated version of the Bololo Sterilizer and Dryer, Bololo developed it from the old single button design to a LED panel. This is a new idea which allows customers to control the sterilization and dryer separately. As the old one can't do the dryer only, this new design allows the separate drying and time setting of it. Moreover, it updated a HEPA filtering design, which will filter the air as it goes in for drying. That'll help the inside to keep hygienic before you're using. It can hold up to 6 bottles with 3 kinds of combinations of space. So no matter if you have 1 or more babies, it can always fit your request. Who needs it? Mom and Dad need it to free up your time to take care of your baby and have a good rest. Of course, you may choose it for other purposes, such as sterilizing any kitchen or personal belongings and drying it as well. How to use it? First, we pour clean water into the base, making sure we don't go past the line. Then, we load the bottles into the machine. It can fit up to 6 bottles. And you're ready to push start. And then we'll push auto. 60 minutes later and you're ready. Also, you could choose only the sterilization or the drying function just by pressing sterilize or drying button. When you choose drying function only, you can set the drying time as 60, 40, or 20 minutes by pressing the drying button cyclically. By default, the time is set at 60 minutes. Please note, if there's some water left in the tank, the drying function may not work immediately, but to dry out the water firstly, it's not the problem.
Great way to protect your baby's immune system for their first year. This is a required step for preemies, babies with special medical needs, and it's also recommended by most breast pump makers. Here at Wabi Baby, we believe sterilizing and drying go hand in hand, and that you can't have one without the other. Drying your sterilized products immediately eliminates the moist environment that is preferable to germs and bacteria. I have a daughter and another on the way, and I want to share with you this pro version of the Wabi Baby sterilizer and dryer system that I'm currently using. After washing your bottles, pour 100 milliliters of water into the heating plate at the base of the unit. Lock the air rotator in place and place a chamber on top of the base unit. Load the bottles onto the bottle rack. This rack is designed to direct the steam and hot air inside your bottles for better sterilization and drying. Place all your accessories on this top rack. Put the lid on and press auto. Make sure that anything you place inside was made to withstand a high temperature. That's it. In about an hour, your bottles will be ready to go. Wabi Baby also lets you control the functions individually. The first button is for just sterilizing, and it takes up to 15 minutes to run its course. The second button is just for drying. You press it repeatedly to adjust the time. It remembers your last setting, so the next time you go to use it, you'll only have to press it once. The third button is called Prolonged Storage Mode. You can press this if you are in the auto mode to keep drying the bottles while they're being stored. This is especially great if you live in a high humidity area. Auto mode is the one-step button that sterilizes and dries your products. It allows you to control the drying time, and it remembers your last setting. The last button is the cleaning mode. It's a good idea to do this once a week, and you can use food-grade citric acid. You can check out our cleaning video for more detail on this. This unit does a lot more than sterilizing baby bottle products. You can use it for everything from breast pumps and teething toys to nebulizers and medicine feeders. This sterilizer will save you a lot of time, allowing you to spend more with your family and precious baby.